In this video, we are updating the most affordable neighborhoods in Kitsap County for 2024, so you're going to want to stay tuned all the way till the end. What's up, everybody? It's Cassandra Lopez with the Living in Bremerton channel. If you're new to the channel, you're going to want to go ahead and subscribe. This channel is all about living in Bremerton. So whether you're here for the first time or maybe you've been here for a while, you just want to know more, be sure to subscribe, tap that little bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video, and you can reach out to me directly. This is my cell phone and my email. Be sure to reach out and let me know how I can support your relocation to Bremerton, Washington. So with all of the inflation and all of the cost of living and all of the housing prices going up and up, we're always trying to look for ways to make our dollar go farther, right? So in this video, we are going to highlight the top 5 locations where that might happen in terms of housing around Kitsap County. And in no particular order, but first on our list is Keyport. So Keyport, Washington is a teeny tiny little township. It doesn't even have its own police department or anything. It's considered unincorporated county. So Keyport is right next to Bangor Base. It's right in kind of the South Polsbo, North Silverdale area on the map. So if you look on the map, you'll see Highway 308. We call that 308 gate to gate because it goes to the Bangor gate and then it goes to the Keyport gate for the auxiliary base at Keyport, Naval Base Kitsap Keyport. So Keyport is a little tiny like waterfront community. It's very small. It's very like a blip on the radar. Like some areas in Keyport may even have like a Polsbo or Silverdale address and not even have its own Keyport address. So the thing with Keyport, so right now median home price is $460,000. So that's like really cheap, you guys. The problem with Keyport and that data is that there is not a very high turnover and there's actually not enough data to really get a good cross section. Like, and this is what I mean by that. For example, right now there is an 8-plex, it's 2 4-plex buildings on the market for $2.1 million, right? If anybody wants to go in on that with me, I've had my eye on it for like a couple of years, right? When that building sells, what's going to be the median price point in Keyport? It's going to be like 2 million, right? It's going to be crazy. So we going from 460 to 2 million? Is there enough data to support that? Similar situation with this little town called Indianola. Like there's the Indianola split, where there's the Indianola spit where there's $3 million properties, and then like half a mile away, you're back in the median single family, very modest, $400,000 home range. And so what's the median price point there? It's like 2 completely separate markets. So if you can find a place in Keyport that is going to be affordable, like not in the 2 million range, then you're probably golden, because it's kind of a low turnover, but it's a great location. It's like a minute from the freeway, from Highway 3, and it's like 5 minutes to Bangor Base. So it's a great location in terms of that commute. Number 2 on our list is Navy Yard City. So Navy Yard City is actually a neighborhood within Bremerton itself, and it's kind of on the south side of Bremerton near the shipyard, as you would imagine by the moniker. So Navy Yard City is kind of right next to West Hills, a little bit south, a little bit maybe eastish. It's kind of like all the same area. It's not very large geographically. Based on the most recent round of data, Navy Yard City median price point is about $375 to $400. Now Navy Yard City does have some smaller homes, so it's going to have 1 and 2 bedroom homes in addition to 3 bedroom homes, and so that's why it's keeping that median price lower, because those smaller homes obviously are going to be valued less. And then rent is going to be kind of similar too in terms of affordability. So you'll kind of notice just across the board that rental rates follow home values, like purchase rates, right? Because the rent is based on the market value, which is based on the purchase price, which is based on previous sales, and the cycle continues. So right now, and this is a caveat, not specific to any location, rental rates are actually more affordable than a purchase price. For example, if you were to buy a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, that might cost you like around $375, for example, and your mortgage is going to be like, $3,000 a month. But you can only rent that property for $2,000 at best, right? So right now it is more affordable to rent than it is to buy in general, okay? Now, that is a temporary thing because as interest rates come down for home purchases and homeowners start refinancing their properties into more affordable payments, at the same time, rental rates are going to go up because they always go up because historically rents just go up, right? So at some point there's going to be a tipping point and it's going to flip-flop, and then it will then be more affordable to pay a mortgage than it would be to rent a home, as has always been the case in the history of homeownership. The next area up on our list of the most affordable places in Kitsap County is Gorst, Washington. So Gorst is going to have a Bremerton address, and there's a reason why it's going to be so affordable. So if you look on the map and you find Gorst, you'll notice that it's right at that little pin hair turn where Highway 3 and Highway 16 merge. And it's a very industrial part of town, and it's a very high traffic part of town because you have Highway 16 merging with Highway 3 north and south, and it's just a really large junction. And then in addition, right west of that, you have the old Belfair Highway, which used to be what people would take to get from Bremerton to Belfair before Highway 3 was built. So there's lots and lots of traffic, especially during peak shipyard hours in the afternoon. So we call it Gorst traffic, we call it shipyard traffic, but Highway 3 southbound from about, let's see, peak hours, about 5 o'clock, it's going to be backed up to probably Kitsap Lake, and it's going to go all the way down through that hairpin turn. And once you get around that hairpin turn, it starts to let up just a little bit. It's going to add about 15 minutes to your commute in the afternoon if that's the direction you're headed. And it's anywhere from like 2:30 to 6 p.m. It's about the window. 2:30, you're still probably good. It's just starting to back up, and then 6 p.m. it should be gone unless there's like an accident or somebody got pulled over and they pulled over like in one of the 2 lanes available. So anyway, Gorst is it's just a busy area, right? So property values kind of tend to stay low for that reason. So you're looking at anywhere from like $275 to $400 for a home in the Gorst area. Now there's some properties that are going to skew that data. Like for example, way up on Sand Dollar Road, you're going to have some views up there, but you're going to have a lot of highway noise, but you're going to have some new construction and like, you know, so there's some things to balance there in terms of what's important to you and what you're looking for and how far you want your dollar to go. I will say that it's a pretty low turnover area. Not a lot of properties come up for sale, but not a lot of properties come up for sale in the Gorst area, but also there aren't a lot of properties in the Gorst area. It's mostly like industrial, like gas station, there's a car dealership, there's storage complex, there's all these things going on right there. So, you know, more of an industrial zoning vibe. So next on our list is the general area of Port Orchard. So Port Orchard's really fairly large geographically. So these prices are going to be mostly like Port Orchard proper and East Port Orchard, which are going to have those bread and butter, more affordable, more urban style properties. When you get out into the outliers, like for example, a little bit more west, you're going to go into like the Glenwood area. That is going to be really large properties, a lot of livestock and equestrian properties out that way. If you go all the way east, you're going to be into Southworth, which is like by the ferry, a lot of waterfront. Manchester, a lot of waterfront out there, so those are going to be a little pricier. And then south to Olalla, sometimes there's large properties, sometimes there's waterfront properties, sometimes it's both, so those property values are going to be higher. So for this particular context, we're focusing just on the city of Port Orchard and East Port Orchard. So median sales price in Port Orchard is about $445, $450, somewhere in there. So that's going to get you a decent home. That's going to get you a 3-bed, 2-bath house. Property taxes are a little bit lower in Port Orchard than they are in Bremerton, which means that your overall payment is going to be slightly lower for the same dollar value in Port Orchard. So even though it's on the higher scale of this particular conversation, it's still going to be top 5 most affordable across Kitsap County in general. And last but not least, the top 5 most affordable neighborhoods in Kitsap County, we are looking at West Bremerton. So West Bremerton encompasses anything from the shipyard, which is like downtown, still in West Bremerton. So anything from the shipyard neighborhoods all the way west over through West Hills and maybe a little bit of Kitsap Lake. And the only properties that are going to skew this data are going to be the ones out on Rocky Point, Marine Drive, Oyster Bay, Finney Bay. Those are all either waterfront, water view. So you're going to have inflated prices there, even though it's West Bremerton. So, but for the bulk of West Bremerton, you're looking at it anywhere from like $390 to like $450. like right in that range. So first time home buyer range, that's a little bit higher than what an investor would pay. Investors are looking for obviously the most affordable property they can get, especially if it's going to be a flip property. So you're going to find the most affordable homes there. You're also going to find the smallest lots. You're going to find that everything is very walkable for the most part. Like once you get out towards Kitsap Lake, it gets to be a little bit more car dependent. But if you're in Bremerton proper, city of Bremerton, very walkable, lots of public transit options. There's lots of transit centers. So there's one over by the old bowling alley. There's one by the ferry. There's one in East Bremerton, which is not part of this particular conversation, but they have them all over. So if you need to get around, they're available. So the point of the conversation is that if you want your dollar to go farther, these are going to be the areas that you look at. So if you, for your specific situation, would like to pinpoint a certain neighborhood, a certain location, a certain price point for your home purchase, please don't hesitate to reach out. This is my cell phone and my email. If you like that video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, drop a little comment, subscribe, and tap the little notification bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video. See you on the channel.